to take your child out, then you'll know that some places are very friendly and others look at your child as though you were trying to bring some kind of pet into their establishment. So this is a lovely item, and I'm very glad to do. One for the parents then. When you're out and about in London with your child, how hard is it to find a place to, let's say, change a nappy or to breastfeed? We've covered those stories many times, haven't we? Or a restaurant, perhaps, that does a child menu. A new app which allows mothers to instantly find the closest child-friendly restaurant and emergency nappy changing spots has been launched today. Well, very recently anyway. Social media entrepreneur Jennifer Chen created the app after she and a friend with a baby found themselves in an unfamiliar part of the capital and had no idea where they could go. Now the free app, have I got your attention? The free app called Wowmum lists more than 3,000 locations in London and 10,000 nationwide. We'll speak to Jennifer in a little while, but first let's talk to Bridget, a London mum of two who has road tested the app. How are you, Bridget?
Hello, hi Eddie, I'm really good, thank you.
So how old are our babies then?
Well, we've got a 1-year-old, little one, very little, Lucy, and a 5-year-old, Joe.
Right, good.
So I've used it with and without, you could say.
Right, so just tell us before we start talking about the app itself, what might life have been like before the app?
Well, it can be quite tricky, I think, with little ones. If you're going out and about on your own, and you haven't got anyone with you, and you're, say, for example, you've gone to Islington or Hackney or an area in London, going out to do some shopping, and you want to breastfeed your baby, and you think, oh my God, where am I going to go? And it's quite daunting, and you feel quite insecure, especially if you don't know the area, and you think, oh, I just want to dash back home again and go to somewhere secure. Or say if you've got a little one, the nappy's leaking, and you've got the pram, and you think, uh-oh, what am I going to do? I need to change this nappy. Where can I go? Normally you just go into the cafe and ask, but you'd have to open the door, get the buggy in.
Yeah, all of the things that you're talking about, I can relate to.
Have you been there?
I have been there, and I am there now. Got one baby. My son is 3.5, so right in the middle of your two. So tell us about road testing the app there.
Well, the app's brilliant. I mean, first of all, it's especially designed for mums, so it looks absolutely lovely, and you can download it very quickly, but it feels live, so it's got a map on there. And if you've got eats, so you've got restaurants that are baby friendly and cafes. You've got a play section, so you've got parks. And it also tells you what's in the park. So you know if you go past an area that's green, you think, oh, well, it'll actually tell you it's actually got a swing in that park, because you know yourself, if you go to a park and it hasn't got a play area in, kids aren't very happy. So you walk around, and it actually tells you the nearest places that you can go to, like change a nappy, or and the nearest cafe that will have children's meals, for example, that kind of thing. So it's really good if you go to a new area. Say, for example, you're off to Notting Hill or somewhere, and you went in and you're meeting a friend. You just turn on Wowmum, and then it will tell you the nearest cafe that you can go to that has a baby changing facility.
Hold on a minute. Is it your thought that London is particularly kind of child unfriendly?
Yeah, I think some places are really. I never used to have children. I had them quite late, and I used to hate people with prams. And now I'm in that situation myself. I kind of think, oh God, And I think getting on buses is a nightmare. The pram, going into a coffee shop. There's got no space to put a buggy, and it's full of people. Just their hearts sinking when they see you. It can be very difficult. I've gone to bars and, for lunches, and ended up on the toilet floor trying to change a nappy on the floor because there's no table to change, and there's all people like glaring at you, queuing to go to the toilet while you're actually on your hands and knees on a dirty old floor changing nappy.
So far as you're concerned, this is a great addition to the app list, is it?
It's absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. And you can also add, so if you know a place that you really like, you can share it also with mums. You can add your favourite spot, your wow spot, so that other mums can go there and share your tips. No, it's brilliant. I mean, it's just, you just feel like you've got someone with you, and you turn it on and you think, oh, right, I can go there and change a nappy. Fantastic. And it shows you how to get there as well.
Well done then.
So
And thank you very much for giving us your honest review. It's just as well it's a good review, isn't it, Jennifer, seeing as you're sitting in front of me. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Well, thank you, Bridget, for such kind words. That's what developers always like to hear, really.
So why the idea then? Where did it come from?
Well, as you were saying before, one day my friend and I, we were walking around it was actually in London Bridge, and with her newborn baby, and we're pushing the pram around, and all of a sudden the baby started crying, and we had to find a place for her to change the nappy, as well as somewhere that would be breastfeeding friendly. And it took us a good 25 minutes to finally find somewhere that would accommodate to all her needs. And it was there where we came up with the idea and thinking that, well, there's got to be an easier way, instead of just going door to door and asking for the waiters, and sometimes they don't even understand what you mean when you ask them, do you heat up milk bottles? Or sometimes they don't even understand when you ask them, like, do you have nappy changing?
I think they understand. I think that doesn't mean I don't understand. It means, what are you asking? So how do you get... I mean, it's one of the things I've always been interested in when you're creating an app. How do you find out the list of these places before you think of putting them all in one place? Mm-hmm. How do you find out?
The list of the places, you mean the wow spots, over 10,000 places. Well, we actually hired researchers. And at the very beginning, it was just my partner and I walking around streets that we find particularly child-friendly. For example, Marylebone High Street, Hampstead High Street, going to the shops and see what kind of facilities that they have. And then after we make very careful notes on the sort of facilities and what moms are looking for, and also the shops are offering, we employ researchers to add these wow spots into our system, because we can't rely completely on moms to enter them.
No,
and so
they have to be verified.
Yeah, and we really expect people to just pick, when they download the app, they should be able to find something that's around them. They don't have to just always add things onto the system.
But you're not a mum?
I'm not.
But because you were with your friend, you understood the difficulties?
Mm-hmm. I've got lots of friends that are starting to have families, and we always end up going to the same cafes. Usually it's Cafe Rouge or Giraffe, and as lovely as these places are, and they're very, very child friendly, and they have fantastic kids menus, well, I think people do get tired of going to the same restaurants over and over.
Let me just read this to you from Elizabeth, and thanks for your contribution, Elizabeth. Women are allowed to breastfeed in any public place in the UK, including cafes and shops, and it is illegal to ask them to stop feeding their child or leave. They don't need an app to tell them where they are allowed to feed their baby. You're saying that may well be the truth, but it's not in practice.
Well, I think a lot of moms don't feel comfortable if there aren't private corners for them to go into, you would be very surprised that some pubs actually provide private rooms for mothers to breastfeed, and or they would have these special corners, just making them feel a lot more comfortable. So I would say that when we say breastfeeding friendly, isn't that you're allowed to breastfeed on the premise. It's more like that the mothers would feel comfortable.
Why the name? I'm a dad, I take my child out too.
Well, we just thought that it's a little bit catchy and catchier, and we're also planning on coming out in the States. And, well, if you flip the word wow, then it's mom.
Okay, all right. So, what other apps have you created?
Actually, this is our very first app.
Really?
Yeah, first baby.
And the whole experience has been a positive one so far?
Overall, yes, we've been very lucky to have great moms working with us, providing fantastic feedback.
Oh, very nice. Just one final question.
Sure.
It's free.
Yes.
Is the aim eventually to make some money out of it?
Oh, most definitely.
I just wondered. I needed to ask that, seeing as we've been talking about the GDP today. Tell everybody what the app is called.
Wowmum. It's spelled WOWMUM, and it is available on the iPhone as well as Android.
Thank you so much for coming in. Jennifer Chenden, creator of Wowmum. It's an app, and she has bought all the stuff with her there. You can see it, and I'm going to have a look so that when I take Prince Zook of Wanstead out in the future, everything will be well covered. We'll take your thoughts and more of your calls in the next hour, but right now let's find out what's happening on those roads from Billy.